Okay, so now we're going to run through a couple of really key points around writing DAX code or writing DAX formula. Now there's some really awesome features that are built into Power BI Desktop where it makes it far easier to understand what is going on with your formula than what it might have in Excel. But you still have to implement a few things to actually make it intuitive, make your formulas easier to understand for yourself and for people that might use your models in the future. Now we're going to run through syntax, comments, and variables, how to actually utilize all of these inside of a DAX formula. And we're going to, in this case, work with just DAX measures, okay? So the first thing we're going to go over is syntax. So very quickly, you are going to write formula that are much more complex than these simple aggregations that we've started with. So just as an example, say we want to, let's drag our total quantity sold onto our date. So now we're looking at every quantity sold per day. But say, for instance, we want to create some additional filters in here. Or maybe we want to look at total quantity for a particular product, a particular customer, or a particular region that we're selling to. So very quickly, we're going to have to write something a bit more complex. And what I'm first going to do here is I'm going to write a formula in just straight out with no syntax optimization or anything. And I'm going to show you how complex it can get really quickly and how you'll be looking at a formula and have no idea what is going on. So if I just start from scratch without incorporating any additional measures that are built or any additional best practices around syntax, let's see what our formula looks like. So I'm going to go total quantity. So I'm going to go, in this case, I'm going to go, I know I've got Florida as a state which we sell in. We've got a number of retail sites there. So I'm going to go Florida quantity sold here. And then to do this, I'm going to use a function called calculate. And then I'm going to write a sum of the total quantity column. And then I'm going to use a function called filter. And then with filter, this is what we can use to create filters on our data. So with additional filters on our calculations. So I'm going to go filter, and then I'm going to put in my locations table, and then I'm going to say to filter everything only for where the state code is, state code is equal to FL for Florida. So we can push enter here, and then what this is going to do is it's going to give us a calculation. So now we're calculating the total quantity sold in Florida. But I want to add to this. I want to add to it because I want to see how you can make things even more complex and how syntax is very important. And so if I go, I'm going to create another filter here because what I want to do is I only want to see products 2 and 3 that have been sold in Florida. So I'm going to go reference the products table, and then I'm going to go and find my product name, and I'm going to filter on the ones that equal to product 2, and then this double line here, this double straight line means or, and then so I'm going to filter on product 2 or product 3. So if we're selling product 2 or product 3, so then I'm going to go product name again, and then I'm going to equal that to product 3. And then I'm going to push enter. Okay, so now this calculation is looking at the quantity sold of product 2 or 3. Good naming conventions on the measures is also very important. But now if we look at this, right, I've brought in a number of different functions here that we haven't even touched upon, but we'll get to them in a module in the future. The key here is just the syntax, right? If you're just starting out with DAX and you're trying to understand what is going on here, it is very difficult, very, very difficult. And there's just a better way to write this. Now, I've seen a number of rules out there of how to write DAX formula, and I think that they're great. I think that a good syntax is important, but I look at things as just a little bit simpler, honestly. I feel like there's a few really simple things that you can implement today, right now, without having to memorize 10 different rules that will make things easier to understand in your DAX formula. Now, the first one that I like to always do that is that if I'm writing anything with a calculator in front of it, which you will do if you write a lot of DAX formula, is I always like to start on a new row. Now, to start in a new row, all you've got to do is push Alt-Enter. So if I delete one up and I go Alt-Enter, that always takes calculate down to a new row. Now, the second thing I like to do is that if I have a new function, which is say a filter, for example, then I also like to put these on new rows as well. So if I go Alt-Enter again, and then I've got this filter here, I go Alt-Enter again, then it's starting to look a little bit easier to understand, right? Then the last thing I do is I like to tab these out so that they tab in a sequential way. So it's just I guess easier on the eye to read as you're glancing down, and you can see, okay, well, this is the core calculation we're doing. This is the first filter, and this is the second filter. Now, some rules will state that you should make this even more complex, like you should potentially put this on a new row, and you should also put this on a new row. So you could also do that, but honestly, I just find that you do what works best for you, and this is just two or three really simple things that you can do really quickly to get it into a pretty easy to read format. Now, there are some other improvements though that we can make to this syntax, to the way that this reads, and this is where I bring in variables, right? Before I do that though, I just realized one other thing is that this sum of quantity, we don't actually need this calculation in here either, because we've already got a total quantity sold measure that we created, right? And you should always reuse your measures. So you should always, if you've already got a calculation that has been done inside another measure, always try and use that within these more complex ones. And so this is just the total quantity sold. It gets exactly the same result. It's just instead of having to write out that formula again, we've utilized what I call core measures and then branched them into something slightly more advanced. Okay, so now that we've got our advanced formula here with a few additional filters, I'm going to improve it even more with what are called variables. And I feel like that using variables makes it even easier to understand. A lot tidier, a lot better around documenting your measures, and far easier for people to understand what is going on, because you can actually write descriptive variable names and incorporate them in the ultimate calculation that is being done. Okay, so this is how you have to write formats. So what I'm going to do here is I'm basically going to put these filters I'm going to put in what are called variables, and then I can simplify how this final calculation actually writes. So after the first equal sign, you just want to go Alt-Enter again, and you want to put in a VAR for variable. And then I'm going to jump to another row again, and I'm going to call this variable in Florida. That's to signify, this is just a variable name to signify my Florida filter. And then I'm going to go equals, and then I'm going to go and grab this filter, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it into this variable. So now this filter is going to sit inside of this this variable here, this in Florida name. And then I'm going to actually create another variable, and I'm going to go Alt-Enter again down to a new row, and then I'm going to call this let's call this product filter, and then I'm going to equals, and then I'm going to again copy this one and place it into there. Now, the very final thing you've got to do to get variables to work, the syntax, you've got to place a return down on the next row there, and then that return then leads us into this calculation that actually goes and runs the calculation. So now that we've got this set up here though, these variables, we can then use them inside of our calculation. And so I can sub in my in Florida into here, and you see that it actually comes up as an option to select. And then what I will do to highlight that point is I'll just start typing in product filter, and you'll see that it actually comes up in this IntelliSense box. And so now we have got our variables, which can clearly lay out based on the naming convention what additional filters that we're putting on here. And so we've got in Florida, we've got product filter, and then we can really simplify this formula that we ultimately write down here. Now, there's one final thing that you can do to make these formulas even more intuitive and to improve, the readability of your formulas. You can actually write comments in here. Now, this is not actually possible in Excel, which is a major missing feature inside of Excel, but it's awesome that you can have it inside of Power BI Desktop when writing DAX code. So what you can do is you can make it as clear as possible what you're actually doing here. So by using 2 forward slashes, and you'll see here that it comes up a green color to signify that it's a comment, we can write anything we want here. So I can say this is for the Florida filter, and then I can write another comment here, and I can go this is the product filter 2 or 3, and then I can write a final one down here, and I could say something like this is running this is calculating total quantity sold for Florida and products 2 or 3, sorry. So that's how you can get really descriptive inside your formulas. So think about the few things that we've done here. We have actually stepped through quite a few things, but I wanted to highlight all of those points because they're all really, really key and really important concepts just to try and embed in your mind right now, because as you start writing these more advanced formula, you should try and implement these sort of techniques. You shouldn't just write these massive formulas that go over 3 rows. They're basically impossible to understand what is going on. But when you lay things out like this in a really intuitive way, then it becomes just far easier to understand how DAX runs its calculations, what DAX is actually doing in the background, and it just makes for greater continuity of your models, not only for yourself, but also for other people who might pick up your model or might have to utilize your model and build on it in the future.